Hi, in this video, we're going to learn how we can add text labels to our screen. Let's go. The write function is a new command that allows us to add text labels to the screen. We simply insert the text we want to write inside the parentheses inside quotation marks. So if we called this function with the text "Hello World," we would see that label appear at Tracy's location on the screen. It does look pretty small though, so let's look at a way we can change the size. Adding the font attribute will allow us to change both the size and style of the font used to create the label. We need to include this information inside a set of parentheses where each item is separated by a comma. The type of font or font name comes first. This is written inside quotation marks. A few examples you can use are Arial, Times New Roman, and Futura. The size of the font comes second and is written as a numerical value that notes the size of the font in pixels. When we add the font attribute with a font name of Futura and a size of 20, we see that the font is larger and has changed in style. The other attribute we can use with our write function is align. This will determine where the text will be drawn in relation to Tracy's position. The options we can use here are center, left, or right, all written inside quotation marks. An important thing to note is that the attributes of font and align are optional and can be called in any order inside our write function. Though we need to add the text to print as the first parameter, we can choose to add whichever additional parameters we'd like and can place them in either order. When we add the align attribute to our write function and set the location to center, we can see that the text is centered above Tracy's location. In our example, we are asked to draw a square where the coordinate location of each corner is labeled. We'll start by moving to the bottom left corner of the square, and we don't want to leave a trail as we head there. So we'll write pen up and go to -100, -100. We also want our square to have thicker sides, so let's make the pen size 3 and then put our pen down. Let's use a simple loop to draw our square. So we'll write for I in range 4 and have Tracy move forward 200 for each side of the square and then left 90. Let's see how that looks. Great. Now we're set to add our corner labels. Tracy has ended at the bottom left corner, which is at point -100, -100. So let's just add a label here using the write command. Write -100, -100, and we want those in parentheses. And let's see how that looks. That doesn't look too great, so let's first change the size. To do that, we'll add the font attribute, and we'll set the type to Arial, and let's choose a size of 12. Let's see how that looks now. Now the size looks better, but we want the label directly under the corner. So let's use the align attribute and set it to center. We're almost there. We just want the text to be a little lower, so let's move Tracy down a bit before calling the write command. We don't want a trail here, so first let's write pen up and maybe move her down 20 pixels. So we can use go to -100, -120. Now that looks perfect. It's important to notice that Tracy is adding the label right above her placement, which is why we needed to move her below the actual coordinate location of -100, -100 before adding this label. I'm going to stop here and have you explore the locations of the other labels by taking a look at the example item on your own. In this lesson, we learned how to use the write command to add text to the screen. Now it's your turn to explore the example and use this command in some Tracy programs of your own.